So everyone, welcome to the Record One podcast. Last episode we had the Women of Newport, and today we're joined by Connor Allen, who is an actor, most notable for his appearance on the BBC Outsiders. So Connor, let's get into it. Obviously everyone else dressed quite moderately, I suppose, like Adidas, Nike, generic clothing, whereas we maybe saw that outside brand. But
you say that, my mum could never afford Nike or Adidas, so I'd never. I remember the first time I bought an Adidas hoodie was when I had my student loan.
Okay, really?
First time I bought an Adidas hoodie.
No way.
And I was like, it was a white Adidas hoodie, yeah.
Yeah.
He had like, was it gold or silver? Gold or silver.
It was like the massive classic logo. I know.
Yeah, massive logo, and it said Adidas on it.
Yeah.
I thought
they were quite
popular. It was a bee's
well.
knees, and I bought these Adidas trainers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember to this day, because I was in first year uni, I thought it was a dog's bollocks, and I was like, oh my god,
fresh clothing.
100%, right? And then I remember I left my hoodie in one of the dance studios after a rehearsal, and it got robbed.
Oh.
Mate, devastated. That's what I mean, like, growing up.
How did you feel about that?
I was devastated, man. I was genuinely devastated, like, because that's what I mean, like, for me growing up, Adidas and Nike, right? I would look around the estate and you'd see like all the drug dealers and all the people who are earning good coin.
Flash.
They would be. That's it. Like
that's what they wore.
That was currency, clothing.
Yeah.
Like you could tell someone was of a certain stature or a certain.
It was a status thing, isn't it? I wear this new clothing because I'm in
I
money.
can afford that.
Yeah.
Whereas that's what I mean. Like me, I remember I was having like Gola.
Gola? What's Gola?
Gola. Trust Google.
Gola?
Google Gola. Yeah, right.
Do you know what Gola was?
Gola. Gola. I swear to God.
What's this Gola?
I was in the Gola leagues as well.
I don't even know what it is.
I had a pair of Gola trainers.
I've never seen them in my life.
for a set of Golas these days.
These days, yeah. That's what I mean. See, all the classics are coming back in it, right? Told you, look at Alessi, you've got them all, mate.
Reebok, Kappa as well.
Kappa, see, they're all coming back now.
And with a price tag as well.
That's what I mean, yeah.
It's quite cheap to get Nike these days.
Whereas growing up, I was very much like it was like you're not going.
Were you in envy? So when you saw these people, did you kind of think like, why can't I have that?
Yeah,
sort of thing?
100%. There we go. Look at those little old goalers, like classics, man.
I've never seen. And you wore these to school?
No, I didn't wear them to school, man.
Okay.
My mum made me wear like proper actual shoes to school, man. Black shoes, and I had to polish them and everything.
You never broke the rules. You never, because I know some people did. They had to wear a certain uniform, and obviously I'm wearing trainers to this, man.
Nah, trust me, man.
You want to.
I wish.
Stuck with the rules.
That's what I mean. Like
okay.
for all the times I was such a dickhead in school, like my mum always would make she and that's again where those principles come in, man. She just instilled those principles from such a young age that I had shoes. You go to school, you wear shoes, and you polish those shoes with fucking polish.
Look after them
in the kitchen. You respect that, and yeah, you look after them. And like as soon as I come home from school, no, you're not going out until you do your homework.
Yeah.
Every day, every day, and that's what I mean. Like so it was her values and her morals that she instilled in me that again has raised me to be the person that I am now.
Today.
And then touch wood, like I'll instill them in my children. So it's like when I have children, they ain't going to be going out and playing until their homework's done. And then once your homework's done, go out and do what you want. Like, the world's your oyster. But that's what I mean. So it came from that. But nah, man.
Well, it's almost like a reward factor because I mean, if you do your homework, why shouldn't you go out and have fun as the reward? If you work hard, reap the results later on, right?
Yeah, no, exactly, man. So I guess that's where a lot of that arrogance as a teenager came from because I always knew, well, I get the work done, so I don't need to be paying attention right now.
There's a fine line between arrogance and confidence, though, isn't it? Because I mean,
see, now that I'm older, I get that, and I'm a very confident person.
Yeah.
But there is definitely a fine line, and I think when I was growing up, I was very arrogant because I thought, well, no, like, there's not. Like, I'm the bee's knees, and like I know I'm intelligent, but I'm also street smart, and I'm also street. So I'm okay with that, and it's just a very destructive mindset, I think. So I think now that I'm older, and obviously I'm a very different person to who I am then.
You just seem a lot more calmer and more composed because you've always been confident, and I guess when you said before you've been arrogant, it's almost like you fine-tuned that arrogance to confidence, and you seem quite stoic, like relaxed.
Yeah, because I'm always like, the older I'm getting, the more I'm realising that like you can't you only get to where kind of you want to be going through hard work, and I know that I work hard, so it's like I was listening to Kevin Hart's The Decision. It's an audio book on Audible, right? Fantastic.
He's very successful, isn't he?
I love Kevin Hart anyway, man. I've loved him since I'm a grown little man. Like, and it's the one thing, like me and my partner, like we're both massive Kevin Hart fans.
Big fans.
Yeah, but like he's a prime example of like how hard work and dedication kind of
how far it can go.
That you can transcend that, and that's what I mean. Like I've always been hard working. Like one of my lecturers in uni was like, Connor, you're gonna go far because you're not afraid to knock on doors.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even know what that even
knock
means.
On doors. What does he mean by knock on doors?
Right. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Right. And then it's only now, like I said, like after I'd say maybe about 3-4 years ago, and then I finally clicked. And what he meant was I'm not afraid to send emails to those big organisations. So in terms of theatre, I'm not scared to email a theatre company like National Theatre Wales or the Sherman or the National Theatre in London and just be like, hi there, I'm an artist from Newport, I got this idea, or how do I go about being in one of your productions because I really want to be. There we go. Whereas a lot of
yourself
people,
out there.
yeah, but a lot of people will have there's this level, I guess, especially in the arts, of elitism, and they're like, oh no, what are you doing? You can't.
It's not for me. I can't compete in that realm.
And also like you can't. Why are you emailing the National Theatre? Like you're a peasant. Like you can't do that. Like they come to you. You don't go to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, but in my mind, I'm a bit like, but why wouldn't I? As an actor, as a writer, I want to be the best version of myself that I can possibly be. Now I'm only going to achieve that by working for and with these big companies and with better people. So it's like, why wouldn't I put myself in those positions to knock on those doors? Because there's either going to be one of two things that are going to happen. It's either that they're going to close the door in my face, so I'm in the exact same position that I'm in before I even knocked on that door, or they're like, all right, cool, come in.
And your opportunity.
And then I've got that opportunity. So either way, it's a win-win.
Have you ever had that mindset before, the elitism mindset, where it wasn't for you? Is this something that you've learned over time, or did you, from a young age, sort of be like, well, I'm going to go for it absolutely at all times?
Yeah. Like,
so I know for some people growing up, they have confidence issues, and then maybe that sort of comes with age and wisdom, because we'll going on to 27 and we'll talk more in depth about it in a short while. There was a mention, obviously, when you look at your television set and you saw, I think it was The Casualty, when you sat with your mum watching Casualty, and there was a moment where you look and you kind of clicked and you thought, I need to be an actor. How insane would it be to be in that situation?
So that I didn't articulate that as well as I could have. So it wasn't, because I didn't want to be an actor until probably about till I was about pushing 18.
Right.
Like the only reason I was an actor was I wanted to be a doctor for time.
That was the first. That was the first one for me. Okay.
That was it, and that was because I lost my best friend to a brain tumor when he was like 10, and I was like, naively at the time, but I was like, I'm gonna save people's lives, so no one ever has to feel the way that I feel right now, because that was my first time experiencing grief. That's where the whole like grief poem comes from.
Was that your first ever?
That was my first ever dealing with loss, and I don't think that any child should have to deal with loss at that age.
How did you cope with it?
It was rough, because when Lloyd passed, So like Lloyd, me and Blades, my brother, weren't very close growing up, because I was very envious of him, because until he came along, I was the only child. So it's like, it's that whole middle child syndrome in it, So it's like I had all the attention, like everything's on me.
And now it's suddenly gone to Blades, and,
like,
and then your attention's gone.
Yeah, like why is he having all his attention? What about me, right? So I was very envious of Blade growing up. He knows that I love him. We're best friends now. But so there was that. So a big part of my energy went towards Lloyd, who was my best friend, and he was like my brother, and like we had swimming lessons together over
Where did you meet Lloyd too?
So Lloyd, we met in like playgroup.
Okay.
And that was
like, that early?
That's like
you didn't go to early as well, did you? You went to St Andrews.
St Andrews.
Andrews.
So I went to St Andrews School.
Did you meet him at St Andrews?
I can't remember where playgroup was. sure it was around like mainly somewhere. I can't remember where properly though.
Yeah.
Like playgroup was just before nursery.
Yeah.
And then you'd have like nursery, you'd go into like year 1, then year 2, then you're in school, innit?
Yeah.
But like playgroup, yeah, it was basically like pre-nursery. And yeah, we met there. And yeah,
that's how you develop your friendship and bond.
Kind of, yeah, man. Because like obviously there's certain people that I'd never remember to this day, right? Because obviously I was like, what, 3?
Yeah.
But
so how old were you when Lloyd passed?
So I was 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had a good 7 years.
Yeah, so we had like 7 years
with
of friendship, man, and we went through school together. After that, so after playgroup, then we went to school, like nursery together. I mean, then we were in school, and then like obviously our parents became friends, and then we started having like dinner dates and going over, sleeping over each other's houses. We went to swimming lessons together at like mingy pools.
Yeah.
We did like all our swimming together. Got all our badges. We would like spend hours like building. We played with the Connects. Like Connects, and we built. Like,
so he was your best friend?
Yeah, 100%. He's my best friend, like best friend in the whole world, and that's what I mean. He was pretty much like my brother. So to lose that one person who like is that one person that like you just get each other.
He was like your brother.
Yeah,
he was like your brother.
So that was I always remember like my mum. So we everyone at St Andrews got given these letters, right? And we came out from school, and it was just a weird energy.
Okay.
And I remember comes home now, because obviously I only lived like 3-minute walk from the school, so we walked through the lane, got in, and my mum's like, Conan, come here. She sits me in the living room, yeah? She's like, oh, sit down. She's getting really teary now, right? And I've never seen my mum cry. And I was just like...
Did you send something? Was that...
Yeah, 100%. So I was like, oh yeah, I got this letter. And I was like, I haven't been naughty though, so everyone got the same letter, so I don't know what it is. And she took it off me, she goes, I know what it is. And then I was like, mate, this is like magic. Why do you know then? Like, what?
Yeah.
And she goes, sit down. Never tells me to sit down. So I was like, no, I'm not sitting down. Like, why have I got to sit down? And then, yeah, she went on to explain it. Like, Lloyd passed away this morning at 11 o'clock in the hospital.
How did he pass?
Just in his sleep. He had a brain tumour in it. So, like,
nice.
he just kind of passed away.
What was your immediate... So when you heard that, when your mother explained that, what was your first...
So that's me, like, that was the first time that I'd ever, like, emotions had ever got the better of my body. Like, I could just feel myself and the tears falling down my cheeks, but I just couldn't control them. I couldn't stop them. And my whole body was like, no. And then I ran upstairs, and she chased me. And I just barricaded myself in my bedroom. So I put the wardrobe in front of the door, then I put the bed in front of the wardrobe, and I put the chest of drawers wedged in between the end of the bed and the window wall.
Like,
so
barricade yourself
I just
properly,
barricaded myself. So yeah, like she couldn't get in. I locked the window, closed the curtains, and I just sat in that bedroom for 2 days. Didn't go to school, didn't come out, didn't eat, nothing. Just sat in there and just cried for like 2 days. And then it's
really tough for a 10-year-old to take.
It's mad, and that's why I can still remember it now, man. That's what 18 years later, man. I can still remember that clear as day, because like that was me grieving. Like, obviously I didn't know that at the time, but now, I can 100% know that that's what it was. And I remember just coming out of I remember on the second, 2 days later, then I moved everything back, opened the door, my mum was there. And I still had my school uniform on for 2 days ago, and I just walked downstairs and I just walked to school. I just went to school.
No way.
And yeah, I was there. And then...
Do you think that was a defining moment in your life? I mean, do you think if that had not happened and Lloyd didn't pass away, do you think life would be different now? Do you think that pushed you into maybe more of a rebellious attitude? Or do you think you would have had that to begin with?
Yeah, I don't know, man, because like Lloyd dying made me want to then pursue being a doctor. So it's like
it was a how can this tragedy evolve into something that's...
Yeah, because like I said, like I never wanted anyone. So the way I felt, I was like, no one in the whole world should be feeling the way I'm feeling. Like that, no. They just shouldn't. That's disgusting. So I'm going to become a doctor, and I'm going to save people's lives, so it means that no one will ever feel the way that I feel.
Yeah. How did the whole BBC experience come to light? Because you were on BBC.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so back. I have
to get on BBC. I wrote.
I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wrote. I wro one of my first things I ever wrote was for a not a competition, but it was for like a week residency in Cardiff, and at the end of this like residency there was a showing or like a sharing of like what we had written. And there was a producer from the BBC called Helen Perry. Shout out to Helen because she's an absolute
shout out
saint.
Helen Perry.
And like she came along and watched that, and she approached me afterwards, and she basically just said how much she really liked my my piece and stuff. So I was like, alright, cool, thank you for that. And she basically just monitored my progress, because I wrote one of the pieces and I performed in the other, so she knew I was kind of doing both. And then this idea for a Outsiders came up in the writers' room, and one of the writers, Dara Mortel, he's from Newport as well, he wrote one of the characters and like one of the episodes. And
so Outsiders is a series.
It was originally it was a series of like shorts, but they kind of amalgamated them all together and made one short film instead of like 6 short episodes. And that kind of when did Outsiders come out?
Last year. It was last year.
Yeah, man.
Is it sort of a different ball game to like BBC production compared to previous productions?
It's crazy. I always remember. So the first ever TV thing I did was Our Girl with Lacey Turner, and obviously I played one of the main characters was played by Ewan Rhian, who's from Misfits, and I played Simon. And
is he in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, he's in Game of Thrones as well.
You met him, have you?
Yeah. So
what's he like?
I played absolute lovely guy, and he's Welsh as well, so we kind of spoke about that. But I played his best friend. He was in the army, and he'd come home, and we were on like this like night out. And Lacey Turner, then me and her had this kind of thing, so I was like trying to chat her up, and she just palms me off. And again, she's lovely as well, yeah. But that was so surreal, because I rocks up thinking, all right, I was like billed as like semi-main cast for this episode, and they gave you what's called a runner. So like a runner is basically someone who will like go around and like if you need anything,
like
they'll go get it.
Yeah,
they'll go grab you a tea and coffee.
Anything.
They'll grab you like a newspaper if you want to read the newspaper. Grab you some water. They'll go and bring you food, your training, stuff like that, right?
Okay. So you had your own personal runner.
And they assigned me one of these, man. And I was like, what? So I had this guy, lovely he was, man. Only like I say young kid. I was young at the time anyway, like, innit? And yeah, he comes over and he was like, "Oh, hi, Mr. Allen. Like, do you want me to get you anything?"
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to go.
Well, you didn't use his services?
Well, no, I felt weird, bro. I was like,
come on.
I can get my
you got your own runner now?
I can get my own food. I can get my own drink.
That's where the grinding come in.
Yeah,
being grinded.
I remember telling
you didn't even get him to get you a bottle of water?
Nah, man. I said, obviously, if he wants to, then he can get me a bottle of water in it. Like, if he wants to do. I was like, otherwise, just sit there and chill, man. I was like, you can go too, honestly.
There's that humbleness from Colorado again.
It's meant, for me, that I was like, that's crazy. I can understand, you know, like, if. So, like, a prime example, with Our Girl, like, Lacey and Ewan, they had been out in South Africa filming for like 3 weeks. Okay. So like they were jet lagged, they were knackered. So I can understand that when you want to solely focus maybe on a scene or on some filming, then that'd be amazing actually if you could go and grab my food and just pop in my trailer, saves me going to queue up and get it after we finish. That'd be amazing. Thank you. I'm nobody. I'm like, what? You're going to be like...
You got your running to see somebody.
Me, it was mad. That for me, I was like, I don't like that at all, man. I was like, I can...
It was a bit too weird for you,
that was so surreal. Like, so, I was like, nah, man. I was like, I can go and get... But, he was lovely, though. But, like, this run had been doing it for ages, and he was telling me, like, all these, like, horror stories of, like, actors who had been, like, demanding... And I was just like... bro,
I'm sure you thought you were very nice.
Yeah, well, maybe, you know. I just, but it is like that's the way I guess like mum's raised me in it. So I was like, why would I need like? It was later on in my career, man, that one of my friends said, "Hey, you ever can't be like they paid to do that, like so."
Yeah.
Like that.
they're breaking into their industry by doing
they're probably doing stuff like that. Yeah, so I understand her a lot more now, but yeah, it's still. I was like, nah, that for me, it was very uncomfortable. So I know.
Probably because you never had that experience.
Yeah,
before.
I've never had that in my
yourself.
life. So I was like, nah, I'm cool. Like, so I. Yeah, maybe it just is like that working class. I remember
So it was a high production as well.
Yeah, it was very high production. That's what I mean. But I guess that's where I know I'll never kind of get into that mindset of
never become big-headed.
Success come to my head. Like even when I managed to take my partner away like for a nice weekend, we were in like some really fancy hotel and they had like a little door running. I could take your bags, like, dude, I can carry my own suitcase. Like, so I'm cool.
Go.
I just don't get it, but like again,
I probably would have tried it.
No, but a lot of people would. A lot of people. My partner is very much like, babe, they paid like to do that.
Yeah.
And they're offering to do it. I'm like, but
I'll
we're going to the room. Like, why would we want someone to carry our bag to our room?
Yeah.
When we're going to our room, we can just carry our own bag.
Really awkward as well, walking alongside him while he carries your bags, just like, oh yeah.
Oh, mate, you have met my partner, man. She'll talk to anyone. So she's just there and she'd be like, oh yeah, so if you worked your line, she having a full-on conversation while he's carrying a bag. I'm like, you couldn't have carried your own bag on. But I get it. I do get it. But yeah, I just don't. I just don't like it.
Get used to it, Colin, because obviously if these jobs come in thick and fast, you probably have your own runner again and again and again.
Maybe,
so,
maybe.
Right, so we're going to bring it to a close. Two things I want to ask you. People who are being an aspiring actor or actress growing up, going through the motions now, what advice would you give to them? What's the most precious advice that either you've received or you could give to someone who's wishing to pursue a career in acting?
Like I said, you really though, innit, man? Like, don't chase someone else's success because that's theirs. They've worked for that. They've earned that. Chase your own success and create your own story and narrative, I guess, is one. So it's like, don't compare because there's no one out there who is like you.
So don't compare yourself to others.
Don't compare yourself to others and don't compare to others' success because that's, like I said, that's theirs. And if you get knocked down 7 times, make sure you get back up 8.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, man.
I like that. And I want to finish on, obviously, you're older now.
Yeah.
If you go back to your childhood and you were able to speak to your younger self, what would you like to say to your younger self?
Bet some money on Leicester winning the Premiership for starters.
No one saw that coming.
That'd be a class one, wouldn't it? Like, save up your pocket money. No, I guess it would be like, just be patient with yourself because you have got some really adverse times coming your way, but you'll weather that storm and you'll come out a more refined person after that and a more clearer perspective of who you are and where you fit in the world. But all that comes with being patient with yourself.
Love it. Connor, thank you very much.
Nah, honestly, man, my pleasure, bro.
Well, thank you everyone for watching the Record One podcast. That was Connor Allen. Thank you for coming on the show, Connor.
No, thank you, man.
Could you tell the audience where they could catch 27, your latest project?
Yes, so that's at www.connorallen-27.co.uk.
Amazing.
Head over to there.
And obviously you can check out www.recordone.co.uk and obviously follow us on social media, follow Connor Allen's social media channels and Record One. We'll see you next time.